Hi, and thanks for joining us for our class today. So today's class we're going to focus on flexibility and mobility. So we're going to start in standing and warm up with some stretches here and then come down onto our mats to continue the class. So remember, always go to a level that suits you and that you're comfortable with, because most importantly we want you to enjoy the class. Okay, so when you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to bring our toes apart and those heels apart, so those feet at that hip width distance. Just to start with, transfer that weight onto the fronts of your toes and then back onto your heels. So just gently forwards and back. And just looking to find that midpoint between those two movements. That weight's going nice and evenly down through those feet. Knees are nice and soft, so not locked back from there. Hands off that pelvis. Very gently, we're going to tilt that pelvis forwards and then tilting it back. Good. So just gently tilting forwards and then tilting back. Good. Find that midpoint between those two movements. That core's gently engaged, ribs soft, collarbones wide, and that neck nice and long. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to warm up by starting with our bow and arrow stretch. So bring those hands up to shoulder height. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, we're going to reach one arm back and away, follow it with your head, and slowly come back to that centre. Good. And again, opening out, opposite side, reaching away, and then folding back. Good. Opening out through that arm, looking round and back, and then back to that centre. Reaching round and back, and back. Good. Opening out and folding back. Good. Reaching around, turning round and back, and folding back. Lovely. So really opening out through that chest, rotating through that upper spine. It's just moving gently through that movement. Good. And back. Opening out, and then back. Lovely. One more each side. Reaching around, folding back, reaching around, and then folding back. Good, lovely. Lower those arms back down, relax those shoulders. Okay, so bring those toes apart again and those heels apart, and then those toes just facing at that sort of 45-degree angle. Good. So we're going to do our side plie movement here. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, drop down, and we're going to reach one arm over, lengthening through that side. Breath in. As you breathe out, back to that centre. Opposite arm, reaching over. Breath in. As you breathe out, back to that centre and then slowly lifting up. Good. And again, dropping down. Reach the arm over, breath in, and out. Good. Opposite arm, reach over and back and raise back up. Lovely. And again, drop down. Last time, reach over, coming back to that centre, reaching with that opposite arm and back. And slowly lifting back up. Lovely. Now I want you just to turn your feet so they're going to rotate, so they're pointing forwards here. And we're just going to drop down into a little lunge. So we're going to drop that knee down, bring the hands up. Good. Dropping down, bring those hands up. So that knee's still going over your toes, still keeping that core engaged. Dropping down, lifting up. Good. Drop down and lift up. Lovely. Last few. And let's do one more here. And raising back up. Lovely. Turn those feet back again. And we're going to go round to the other side. So rotating those feet so they're pointing forwards again. And we're going to drop down into that lunge as we did before. So we're going to drop down, raise the hands up and lift up. Good. Drop down, raise those hands. Good. Knees still going over those toes and back up. And up. Lovely, so still keeping that control, that core engaged. Good. Lovely. And let's do one more here. And lift back up, lovely. Now I'm going to step back. I'm going to come to the end of my mat. I'm going to do a few roll downs from here. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, curling slowly, rolling down towards the floor. Breath in here, and as you breathe out, slowly peeling, rolling back up into standing. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, curling down, rolling down through that spine. Breath in at the end here. Then as you breathe out, slowly peeling back up into standing. Well done. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, curling, rolling down slowly towards the floor. Breath in here. Then as you breathe out, slowly peeling back up. Lovely. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tuck that chin down, rolling those hands down. This time we're going to stay down here, so just rolling those hands down, sink down, breath in, and as you breathe out, sink those hands down a little bit further if you can, soften the knees if you need to, breath in, and as you breathe out, sinking down. Bending of those knees, we're going to walk down into our downward dog position here, and we're going to just stretch through those heels. So sink that heel down, and the opposite heel. Alternating sides here, just walking through this movement, dropping that heel down, opposite heel. Good, sinking the heel down, opposite heel. Just stretching out through those calves, lengthening through the backs of those legs. Sink down, walking through that movement, well done. And one more each side. And then back to that centre. And I'm going to bring one leg forward from here and drop the knee down. And we're going to stretch out through the fronts of our hips, okay? So just lean forward slightly, feel that stretch through the front of the hip. And we're going to bring that arm up on that side and reach over. Just increase that stretch slightly through that side. So just have that little bit of a side bend. Breathe in and out here. Good. Bring that arm back down. Just sink down into that stretch a little bit further. Holding that there, well done. Breathing in and out. Good. Breath in and out. If that feels a little bit much on that knee, you can place a block underneath that knee if you need to. And then back up. And we're going to switch sides, bring the other leg round, opposite leg in front. And we're going to lengthen through and just stretch through this hip here. So stretching through these hip flexors. Just breathing in and out, sinking down into that stretch. Breath in and out, sinking down, well done. Breath in and out. From here, we're going to reach the arm over and just stretching into that little bit of a side bend, just increasing that stretch slightly there. Breathing in and out, sinking down, and again, breath in and out. Good. Breath in and out there, well done. Bring that arm back down. And from here, just really extend that stretch, just that little bit further if you can. Really opening out through those hips, good. Breath in and out, well done. And we're going to just bring those hands down again, bring that leg back and come back down into 4-point kneeling. And we're going to carry on the class here. Okay, so we're going to continue the class here in this position. So our hands are underneath those shoulders, knees are underneath those hips. Make sure those elbows are nice and soft from here. Okay, so we're going to do our threading the needle movement. So just with one hand, we're going to thread this hand through and under, looking with that head, and then slowly coming back up. Good, we'll alternate sides. So drop that hand under, looking through and under, and then slowly sliding back. So really rotating through that upper spine and stretching that shoulder slightly as well. So we're dropping through and under, looking around with that head, and then coming back up. Lovely. And again, dropping around, through and under, and slowly coming back up. Good. And again, dropping around, through and under, and slowly coming back up. Good. And again, tucking through and under, and sliding back up. So really rotating through the upper spine. This can often feel quite stiff here, so it can feel like a really nice movement to do as we're opening out through that upper back. Lovely. Tucking through and under, sliding back. Just do a few more here. Through and under, and sliding back. Good. And again. Back up. Lovely. Let's do one more each side here. Sliding up and tucking through and under again, and slide back up. Lovely. Now still in this position, make sure our hands are underneath those shoulders. We'll just do a gentle cat stretch here, just to flex and extend through our spine. So tuck that head under, arch that back up, drop down and look forwards, extending that spine. Good. Tucking under, arching that back up, drop down, look forwards. Good. And again, tucking under, arching up, and drop down, look forwards. Lovely. Let's do a few more here. Just flexing and extending through that spine. Well done. Flexing and extending through that spine. Well done. Tucking under and extending that spine. Lovely. One more here. Flexing and extending through that spine. Lovely. Now we're going to drop down, that bottom down onto our heels, reach those fingers away, and we're going to sink that bottom down onto our heels. So take a breath in here. As you breathe out, sink down that little bit further, relaxing that bottom down onto your heels, opening out through those shoulders. If you can this time, we're just going to bring those thumbs up to the ceiling, just changes that stretch slightly, just feel that a little bit more down through into those shoulder blades. So breath in, as you breathe out, sink down that little bit further. Lovely. One more time, breath in, and as you breathe out, just relaxing and sinking down into that stretch. Really good. Well done. So we're going to come back up forwards, and this time we're going to drop down onto our tummies, and we're going to go into our Cobra Stretch here. So have your hands in that L shape, so that kind of right angle positions. We're going to just rest our forehead down onto the mat and have my feet just a little bit wider than those hips. Good, so we're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to peel that head off, lift up that breastbone, and then just slowly peel those ribs, and then that tummy up into this Cobra position. Well done. Breath in here, and as you breathe out, just slowly peeling that tummy, those ribs, then my breastbone, and lastly, my forehead back onto the mat. Good. And again, breath in as you breathe out. Now really nice and slowly, really peeling through our body into this extension position, just as far as you're comfortable. Breath in, and as you breathe out, walking, peeling back down onto the mat. So don't do this movement too quickly. Really think about those components. So we're breaking it down into lifting that head, that breastbone, those ribs, and then finally that tummy if you can. Breath in, and as you breathe out, walking step by step back down. So really nice and slow and controlled movement. Well done. Breath in. As you breathe out, tucking under, keeping that chin tucked in and lifting back up. Breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly peeling down onto the mat. Let's just do this one last time. Breath in. Breathe out, keeping that chin tucked in, lift that breastbone, peel those ribs, lifting that tummy. Well done. Breath in, and then slowly just peeling back down onto the mat again from here. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to pop my hand just underneath my forehead, just to support my head here, and we're going to do a one leg kick movement. So just relaxing my head down, bring those feet just so they're hip width distance apart, that core is gently engaged. Just tuck that tailbone under slightly here if you can, and then we're going to just begin by flexing the foot, bend the knee, point, flex, and then lower back down. Good. And again, so we bend at the knee, flex the foot, point, flex, and lower. And again, flex, point, flex, and lower down. Good. And again, flex, point, flex, and lower down. So we're alternating sides here, keeping that control, still keeping that core engaged, and we're moving through that ankle and bending through the knee. So flex, point, flex, and lower. And again, flex, point, flex, and lower down. Well done. And again, flex, point, flex, and lower. And again, flex, point, flex, and lower. Now on this next one, if you can, we're going to add in some extension through our hips. So we go flex, point, flex, extend and lengthen through the leg. And again, flex, point, flex, extend and lengthen. Good. And again, flex, point, flex, extend and lengthen. Good. And again, flex, point, flex, extend and lengthen. Very good. And again, flex, point, flex, extend and lengthen. So keep going here. Flex, point, flex, extend and lengthen. So taking those bottom muscles in as we extend through that hip, lengthening away. Good. And really lengthen through that leg. Just feel it lengthening, growing a little bit taller as you lengthen and point that foot away. Good. Flex, point, flex, lengthen away. Good. We'll do a few more here. Good. And really moving that foot with purpose, okay? And again, flex, point, flex, lift, lengthen through that leg. Good. Flex, point, flex, lift and lengthen. Very good. Last few here. Flex, point, flex, lift and lengthen. Well done. Let's do one more each side. So flex, point, flex, lift and lengthen. Good. Last time. Flex, point, flex, lift and lengthen from there. Well done. Very good. Okay, so we're going to come round onto our sides. So if you've got a little block or a towel, you can just use that, or a little pillow or something, just to support through your head from here. So we're just going to have that just so my neck is nice and in line from there. So we're going to start here with a side kick movement. So keeping that core engaged, my hips are stacked on top of each other, and I'm going to lift this leg up to that hip height position. So imagine this leg is on a table and we're going to glide the leg forwards and gliding it back. So keeping that control as you glide forwards and you glide back. Good. Core engaged, glide forwards and glide back. Well done. Gliding forwards, gliding back. Now if that's comfortable, we can straighten the leg, glide forwards and glide back. So if the leg's straight, point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Good. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. All the while keeping that leg at that hip height position as we glide forwards and glide back. Well done. And again, gliding forwards and gliding back. Very good. So really working through that core and engaging those bottom muscles as we glide forwards, glide back. So just lengthening through, folding back. Good. Gliding forwards, gliding back. So either with that knee bent or this leg straight, whatever you're comfortable with, glide forwards and glide back. All the while keeping that leg at that hip height level, just to really work through those bottoms gently here. Good. Gliding forwards and gliding back. Well done. And again, glide forwards and glide back. I'll just do last few here. Keeping that control, glide forwards and gliding back. Well done. Good. Forwards and back. Gliding forwards and gliding back. Well done. One last time. Glide that leg forwards and then gliding it back. Well done. And relax that leg down. Oh, I'll bend those knees. Give that muscle a little rub. Okay, so we're going to drop that block onto the floor. It's there. Have our arms out in front. And we're going to go into our arm opening stretch from here. So we're going to lift up one arm, opening out, looking round and back, following with your head, and then slowly coming back to that centre. So lifting up that arm, opening out, looking round and back, following with your head, and then coming back to that centre. Good. And again, opening out, lifting up, coming round and back, and then back to that centre again. Well done. And again, lift up that arm, opening out, looking round and back, and slowly back to that centre. Well done. Opening out through that chest, looking round and back, and then back to that start. Well done. And again, lift up, opening out, looking round and back, and then back to that start. Now this time I want you to imagine you've got a little piece of chalk between your fingers, and we're going to lift up and draw a big circle round and back with our arms and back again. Good. So opening out, lifting above your head, coming around and back, and then back to that start. Well done. And again, lifting up, opening around and back, and then back to that start. Good. And again, reaching around and then back. Lovely. One last time, reaching around and then back again to that start. Very good. Okay, so come back up. We're going to come over onto our opposite side now. Do the same again. So coming round onto that other side. Just going to use that block just to support my head here, so that neck's nice and long. Those hips are stacked on top of each other. That core's just gently engaged. So we're going to raise that top leg, keeping that knee bent to begin with, and we're going to glide the leg forwards and gliding it back. So doing our side kick movement again. Gliding forwards and gliding back. So keeping that leg at that hip height level as you glide forwards and you glide back. Well done. Core engaged. Glide forwards and glide back. If that's comfortable, just stay here at this level. Or as we did before, we can straighten the leg, glide the leg forwards and glide it back. Good. So point the toes as you glide forward, flex the foot as you glide back. Point the toes as you glide forward, flex the foot as you glide back. Good. And again, point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Well done. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. All the while keeping that leg at that hip height level to really keep working those glute muscles. That core is engaged, controlling that movement through the pelvis as we glide forwards and glide back. Well done. And again, gliding forwards and back. Either that leg straight or you can bend the leg, whatever's more comfortable, okay? So glide forwards and gliding back. Lovely. Really working those bottom muscles here, keeping that leg at that hip height level. They're working hard. Well done. I'll just do a few more here. Gliding forwards and gliding back. Well done. Keeping that control. gliding forwards and gliding back. Well done. Very good. Glide forwards and glide back. Last couple. And one more, gliding forwards, gliding back. Well done. And bring that leg back down. Good. Bend those knees, give that muscle a little rub. Okay, so drop that block down to the floor again, or whatever you're using, and have your head at the front of it. Arms out in front of us, and we're going to lift up that top arm, following our head, just rolling on that block, looking round and back, and then back to that start. And again, lifting up that top arm, opening out, looking round and back, following with your head, and slowly back to that start again. Good. And again, lifting up, opening out, round and back, and then back to that start. Very good. And again, lift up that top arm, opening out that chest, looking round and back, and then back to that start again. Well done. So just opening out through that chest, rotating through that upper spine, just as far as you're comfortable, just gently stretching, opening out, following your head, just rolling on that block. No, not lifting your head at all, you're just rolling it, rotating it around. Good. Now on this next one, I want you to imagine you've got that piece of chalk in your fingers again, and we're drawing that circle up and over around our head, and then back around again. Good. And again, so reaching around, reaching above that head, coming around and back to that start. And again, reaching around, opening out, round and back. Good. And again, reaching around, opening out, round and back to that start. Good. Last few. Reaching around, drawing that circle above your head and around. Lovely. Reaching around and back. One last time. Reach around and then back again. Well done. Okay. So we're just going to put that block to this behind us, and we're going to come around onto our backs from here. So coming down onto your back, just to begin with, as we normally do, have your feet that hip width distance apart. That core's gently engaged. Just tilt that pelvis forwards and back to begin with, just so you're finding that nice neutral position. Good, okay. All right, so we're going to go into a bridge from here. So arms relaxed down by our side. Our core's gently engaged, ribs soft, collarbones nice and wide. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Take a breath in here. Then as you breathe out, walking that spine slowly back down onto the mat. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles, lifting up into this bridge. Breath in to hold here, and as you breathe out, just really feel that you're walking that spine slowly back down onto the mat. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles, lifting up into this bridge. And as you breathe out, slowly walking that spine back down. Sometimes people describe it, imagine your spine is that set of pearls, and you're lowering those pearls down one at a time. So if that helps, you can just visualize that. Just slowly lowering that spine back down. Well done. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Keep that pelvis level when it's lifted. And as you breathe out, gently lowering back down onto the mat. Good. And again, breath in. Tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge, breath in here, and as you breathe out, slowly walking that spine back down. Good. And again, tucking that pelvis under, lovely, well done, lifting up, breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly walking that spine back down. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge, breath in here, and as you breathe out, walking that spine slowly back down. Good. Let's just do last few. Tucking that pelvis under. Use those bottom muscles, lifting up into that bridge. Breath in here. Then as you breathe out, walking that spine slowly back down onto the mat. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lifting up. Use those bottom muscles. Peeling up, breath in. And as you breathe out, lowering back down. Lovely. Let's do one last time. Breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Breath in here. Then as you breathe out, slowly walking back down. Well done. Okay, so still keeping that core engaged, ribs soft. We're going to just stretch our opposite arm, opposite leg. But I want you to really focus where this position is here, with these ribs and those hip bones, that distance between the two. We're going to try and maintain that throughout this exercise, okay? So take a breath in. As you breathe out, I want you to lengthen one leg and we're going to reach the opposite arm above your head and then fold back together. Okay, just come up a little bit more. Okay, so breath in. As you breathe out, lengthen opposite arm, opposite leg, and then fold back in together. Good. And again, opposite arm, opposite leg, lengthening away and folding back. As you lengthen, keep that distance between those ribs and those hip bones the same. So you're not letting those ribs flare. So the upper back shouldn't be lifting as you bring your arm above your head. Now that might mean that you can't lift your arm that far back, and that's fine. Just go to where you can really still keep that control. So either have the leg just hovering above the ground, or if you want to, you can just slide the leg along the ground if that's more comfortable. Good, and fold back. And again, lengthening opposite arm, opposite leg, and folding back. Good, so keeping that core engaged as you lengthen and fold back together. Well done. Lengthening through and folding back. Good, so really nice movement just to lengthen through that body. Stretch out through those fronts of those hips as well as you lengthen opposite arm, opposite leg. Good. If you want to challenge it a little bit more, we can bring both legs up into double tabletop and then just lengthen, keeping that opposite leg there if you want to, but just pick what's comfortable for you. Reaching away and folding back. Good. Lengthening and fold back. So either with that leg sliding along the floor, hovering along the floor, or we can raise here if you want to. Reaching away, folding back, keeping that distance between those ribs and those hip bones the same, not letting those ribs flare as you lengthen. Very good, and back. Last few here, and folding back. Good. Reaching away and folding back. Very good. And let's just do one more each time, each side here. Reaching away, folding back, last time. And then fold back. Well done. Lower those legs back down if they're lifted. Let's bring those knees in, have a quick hug, and just stretch out through that back. So just breathe in and out here. On that out breath, if you can, just sink down into that stretch just a little bit further. Breath in and out here, just relaxing down. Well done. Breath in. And as you breathe out, just sink down, have a little rock into that movement if that feels comfortable. Good. Breath in and out, sinking down here. Lovely. Just opening out through that lower back and into those hips. Good. So just lower those legs down one at a time, coming back from here. And I'm just going to lengthen through one leg. And we're going to stretch our hamstrings, but we're going to do this more in a dynamic way. So we're going to lift the leg up to the ceiling. We just flex the foot and stretch it down. Point the toes, lifting up. Flex the foot, stretch that leg down. Good. Pointing up, flex the foot. Good. So we're just feeling that stretch through the back of the leg, but we're adding a bit of movement in to this a little bit more dynamically. Good. So point those toes up to the ceiling. Flex the foot, pulling that leg down. Good. Point the toes up to the ceiling. Flex the foot, pulling that leg down. Good. Point up to the ceiling and flex the foot, bring that leg down. Lovely. Last few here. Point those toes up, flex that foot down. You might find that stretch just ease it slightly as you've been doing this. Good. Stretching down, well done. Point those toes up, flex that foot down. Point the toes up and flex down. One last time. Point those toes up and flexing that foot down. Lovely. Bring that leg back to that start. Okay, same on the other side. We're going to lengthen through that leg. Point those toes up to the ceiling, flex the foot to lower. And again, point those toes up and flex that foot to lower down. Point those toes up, flex to lower down. Good, and again, point the toes up, flex that foot to lower. So just stretching through the back of the leg. Really lengthen. As you flex that foot, just lengthen that leg back down and away. Good, flexing down. And again, pointing up. And flexing down from there, good. And again, lifting up, flexing down. And lifting that leg up, flexing down here. Good. Let's do one last time. Point those toes up to the ceiling. Flex the foot, lower back down. Good. Bring that leg back in. Okay, so keep those knees bent. We're going to bring our arms down by our side or out to the side of you. We're going to drop those knees over to one side. Turn your head to the opposite side if you can. Use those toe muscles to bring those knees back up and over to that centre, dropping over again, turning that head, looking round, and then coming back up to that centre. Good, and again, drop those knees over, turn that head to that opposite side if you can, use those toe muscles to bring those knees back up and over to that centre. Okay, so just rotating side to side, just enjoying that stretch, just gently dropping over side to side from here, opening out through that lower back, turning and rotating through that head as well. Good, and again, dropping over and coming back up and over to that opposite side. Good, and back up. We'll just do a few more here, just opening out through that spine. Good, and back up. Lovely, so just a really nice stretch to do. Just mobilising through that lower back. Feels nice if you feel stiffness there. This is a really nice stretch to do. Good, and then back up. Let's do one more each side, dropping those knees over, turning that head, and coming back up and over. Then back to that start. Well done. Bring those hands back down from here. Lovely. So we're going to come round and up into sitting, and we're just going to stretch here just to finish off. Good. So just relax those shoulders down. Just have the sitting either legs crossed, legs in front, or if you're more comfortable to just sit on a little block here, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so we're going to start with a few spine twists. So we're going to bring our hand up to this Cossack position, neck nice and long. Take a breath in here. Then as you breathe out, we're going to turn that body around, breath in. And as you breathe out, back to that centre. Well done. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, rotating that body around, breath in. And as you breathe out, back to that centre. Well done. And again, rotating that body. And on that out breath, back to the centre. Lovely. And again, rotating around. Keep that neck nice and long. So really lift up through the crown of that head. Well done. Turning that body around. And back to that centre. Well done. And again, rotating back to that centre. Well done. One more each side. Rotating that body around. Back to that centre. And again. And back to that centre. Well done. And relax those shoulders down. Good. Just relax here. Okay, so let's just stretch out through our necks. So we're going to drop our chin down. Just look to that right hand. Just lengthen through that neck here. Drop those shoulders. Just breathe in and out. On that out breath, really sink those shoulders down. Breath in. And as you breathe out, sink those shoulders down. Good. Just looking to that right hand. Lovely. And then we're going to drop that chin down to our chest. So really flex and lengthen through the back of the neck. Good. Just breathing in and out here. And then turning to look to that left knee now. So just rotating around. Just lengthen through that opposite side again. Breathing in and out. And lengthening here. Good. And then dropping that chin back to that centre. Just lengthen through the back of that neck again. And then just slowly restack that spine. And lifting that neck so that neck's nice and tall through the top of the head. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to bring our hands in front here. So breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to reach up into that Y stretch. And lower back down. Good. And again. Reaching up, opening out through that chest. And lower back down. Good. And again. Reaching up. And lowering down. Lovely. And again. Reach those hands up. And lower back down. Good. On this next one, we're going to reach those hands up nice and tall. Bring them nice and wide. Back down. Good. And again, reach up. And bring them nice and wide. And back down. One more time. Reach up. Opening out nice and wide. And then back. Lovely. Relax those shoulders from here. Fantastic. Well, I hope you're feeling nice and stretched out and you've enjoyed the class today, and we'll see you again next time.